What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we are doing our final grades, my grades for the New York Giants draft, and I'm also going to recap every single player and analyze them to my best ability right now. Now, I do not know all of these players, but I did watch film on all of them, not too much extensive film, and really wrote down any scouting notes or anything like that, but I just kind of watch what I can and kind of gather my thoughts from there, so I hope you guys enjoy. Now, quickly, I've had a lot of new people on the channel, a lot of new subscribers. If you guys love New York Giants content, this is the channel to be at. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and also stick around for more videos. Any suggestions you want to see related to the New York Giants or the NFL in general, go ahead and leave your suggestions in the comment section below. So, without further ado, let's get on to the recap. So 6th overall, Josh Allen was on the board, and I'm pretty sure every single Giants fan in the nation, besides some people who really love Dwayne Haskins, really wanted Josh Allen, and Josh Allen was not picked. It was Daniel Jones, the quarterback out of Duke. We all know how we reacted, and if you guys want a little hint of how all Giants fans reacted, here is all of MetLife Stadium booing the Daniel Jones pick.
In the 2019 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Daniel Jones.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my.
Now, I do feel bad for Daniel Jones himself. It's not like he really forced this, and I know a lot of people are probably saying in the New York media, we're kind of crazy New York Giants fans. In all reality, we're pretty much bad fans, but we're probably sending the guy death threats. We're probably doing this, we're probably doing that. This is going to test him right off the bat. As soon as he was drafted, not even 2 minutes after he was drafted, he has been put to the test if he can handle the New York media. And if he can handle that, that's half the battle. Eli Manning was just so easy. I mean, nothing affects Eli Manning as far as media goes or any kind of attention of that matter. Does not affect him whatsoever. Daniel Jones handling that is half the battle. A lot of people thought Josh Rosen wouldn't be able to handle that, being with his past off the field issues and things. Some signs that people don't like about Josh Allen. You probably won't find that in Daniel Jones. Now, Daniel Jones is a little bit off topic, but Daniel Jones really looks like he could be Eli Manning's son. Guys, I mean, I'm just going to call it out there. It makes sense. Eli Manning was a troublemaker when he was 17 years old. It looks like, if my math is correct, I think the guy is 21. Eli's about 38 years old. Looks like to me Eli Manning knocked a girl up when he was 17, and this has to be Daniel Jones' son. I mean, it has to be. There's no way. They are in no relation whatsoever. They even talk the same way. They talk the same way. Their body language, their facial expressions are exactly the same. Their hair is the same. Everything. I even saw this in this hilarious meme that I'm sure you guys have seen, that it looks like Eli Manning, it looks like Daniel Jones was cast to play Eli Manning in a Peyton Manning movie. I thought it was hilarious, but it makes sense. But with that being said, let's analyze Daniel Jones. Now, Daniel Jones was not the best quarterback on the board. I don't think for a long shot he was the best quarterback on the board. I would have taken Dwayne Haskins over him. I would have taken Drew Lock over him. I probably would have taken Will Grier over him, if I'm being completely honest. But that being said, he was picked 6th overall. We had no choice but to support the guy. I support Daniel Jones 110%. Now, am I going to go out and buy his jersey tomorrow? Probably not. I want to see what he does, but we're probably not going to see Daniel Jones for another, I don't know, year or so. Dave Gettleman's throwing out a lot of hints that he may even resign Eli Manning. He's done nothing but lie to us this whole time as GM, which I can understand, but just don't trust what Dave Gettleman says. He may extend Eli Manning, he may not. We'll see what happens, but listen, it's not like I completely don't. It's not like we drafted Tyree Jackson 6th overall. We drafted Daniel Jones. This is a guy that has some potential. People see a lot of flashes in him, and I do see bits and pieces of a franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones. I like the way he carries himself. He's a nice quarterback. He looks like a nice guy, but that's not someone you choose 6th overall. That's my only problem. But he does have the intangibles, in my opinion. He is very athletic as well. Something different from Eli Manning. His ceiling looks to me that he may make a couple playoff runs, but he's just never going to win the big one. He's never going to be a top 5 quarterback. And when you draft someone 6th overall, you want them to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and he's just not. I just don't see that. That's not even in his ceiling. So that being said, I'm giving the Daniel Jones an F grade. That's right, an F grade, just because Josh Allen was on the board. We needed so much other we had so much other positions of need. He wasn't even close to the best player available, not by another 40 players. On top of that, he wasn't even the best quarterback available, not by 4 different quarterbacks, not by 3 different quarterbacks, I'm sorry. But yeah, this was a terrible pick. Absolutely terrible pick. I give it an F grade. If Daniel Jones ever watches this, I apologize, man. You have to prove me wrong. Prove everybody wrong, please. So we're going to move on to the 17th overall pick we got when we traded Odell Beckham Jr. 17th overall, we got Dexter Lawrence. Now, he's another guy where this is just not the best player available in the position. You had Jerry Tillery still there, which everybody knew he was going to go late in the first round. Everybody knew he was going to Los Angeles. I mocked him to Los Angeles. But Jerry Tillery could have easily been picked 17th overall. We need pass rush. He is probably one of the best pass rushing defensive tackles in this draft, besides Quentin Williams, of course, who is in his own tier. But Jerry Tillery was there. Jeffrey Simmons, once he comes back from that ACL injury, he is going to be a monster. The Tennessee Titans chose him 2 picks later. You could have chosen Jeffrey Simmons here. Dexter Lawrence, it should be a good pick. Reminds me of Linval Joseph, just like what Pat Shurmur said. But the thing is, we don't need another run stopper on this team. We don't need another nose tackle. How many teams really have 2 nose tackles on their team? Some teams have no nose tackles, and they're doing just fine. You know, so seeing 2 nose tackles on the team, 2 guys are 340 pounds, it's going to be hard to fit them in place and actually get a pass rush from the interior. Now, Dave Gettleman is confident that Dexter Lawrence can create a pass rush and won't just be a 2-down player. But if you wanted a guy that can create a pass rush and stop the run, Jeffrey Simmons and Jerry Tillery can do the same thing. You're making no excuses here. You're making no credibility, no reasoning to take Dexter Lawrence either way. Now, is Dexter Lawrence going to be a good player? Probably. He reminds me a lot of the Evan Ingram pick back in 2017. I thought Evan Ingram wasn't the best tight end on the board. Probably wasn't the best available. Probably we shouldn't even have drafted the guy, but he's going to make an impact on the team, and it is what it is. Dexter Lawrence will make an impact on the team, but was he the best player available? Was he the best pick we can go with? Probably not. So overall, I'm going to give the Dexter Lawrence a C grade. It's just a solid C. I think he's going to make an impact. I just don't think it was the best player or the best position or the best player in the position. So it is what it is. So round 30, we traded into the first round once again. Along with the Oakland Raiders, we had 3 first-round picks. The Giants never even had 2 first-round picks, so this would have been exciting had they nailed their first-round picks, but they didn't. But this was probably the best one by far, and that's DeAndre Baker. We traded our 37th, our 142nd, and one of our 5th-round picks, which is 150-something if I'm not mistaken. So we got rid of those picks. But we got DeAndre Baker, the cornerback out of Georgia. Now, he was my 3rd corner on my cornerback big board. You got one. I don't even favor cornerbacks, but I love watching them on film. They're my favorite position to watch on film. Running back is my favorite position, but I love watching cornerbacks on film. There's just so much you can gather from that. And I had Byron Murphy at number 1, Greedy Williams at number 2, and then DeAndre Baker. You could argue I had Rock Ya-Sin as a close 3 to 4. It's very interchangeable. Some days I'll wake up and say Rock Ya-Sin is a better cornerback. But DeAndre Baker, I think Dave Gettleman was trying to fit a scheme here, and you notice that from the other cornerbacks we see here. The other cornerbacks we drafted here, the other 2, they both excel in man and zone. So I think the Giants want to run a hybrid scheme where they run man and zone, and they want a corner that can do a lot of things. They want a corner that has a lot of versatility, and DeAndre Baker was probably your best guy there. Now, Byron Murphy, I think, can do man just fine. I think he can run man coverage just fine. The only problem is that we haven't seen too much of that yet, so we haven't got a good sample size of Byron Murphy in man coverage, but I believe he can do it all. He's more of a cover 3 corner. We don't really run cover 3 as the New York Giants do, so that may have been the breaking point for Dave Gettleman to get DeAndre Baker. Now, I like DeAndre Baker. Listen, this grade here for DeAndre Baker, I give it a solid B. I give the DeAndre Baker a B. Now, that's not to say I really don't like the pick, because I actually really do like it. And as the season goes on, I may love the pick. I don't love the pick yet. I strongly like it, just because I probably chosen Greedy Williams. I would have probably chosen Byron Murphy for sure over him. Maybe even Rock Ya-Sin. That is arguable there. There's a lot of things in his game that really questions me. Everybody says he's a press man corner. I say he's a press man corner, but sometimes when he's in press man, he just doesn't look strong enough. And on top of that, when the receivers beat press man, he is not able to catch up whatsoever. He does not have the blazing speed to do that. Now, he ran a 4.6 40. That's just not enough in the NFL anymore. Greedy Williams around a 4.3. That's enough. But 4.6 is a little too slow for my liking as an outside corner. And we'll see what happens with DeAndre Baker, but I think he's an instant starter. He'll do just fine in the NFL. Just don't think he's going to be a top corner. Moving on, we probably have my favorite draft pick along with the next draft pick, but probably more my favorite just because I was drooling for edge rush in this draft, and that's Oshane Ximines, the 3rd round pick, 95th overall, out of Old Dominion. Now, I've watched this guy before the draft. I'll be honest, I didn't do crazy amount of tape on him, but I've seen a lot of, not highlights, but I've seen when people and video makers kind of show little clips and bits of Oshane Ximines and what I've heard from him, what people have said of him. I really like the guy. He's a speed rusher off the edge. He's great with his hands, has a great amount of strength, and just has a huge motor. Just will do anything to get to that quarterback. And what I've seen from him, the guy is just an absolute monster. Now, I already have a nickname for this D-line. 2 of the guys on D-line, X and Dex. So Dexter Lawrence and Oshane Ximines, X and Dex. Hopefully those guys are a good duo there. But this guy should... I said this in the live stream. Anybody from the 3rd round down will not make an impact on the team. The edge rush did not get better, but I'm going to have to eat my own words there and say Oshane Ximines does make our edge rush a lot better. He may even lead the team in sacks next year. I'm going as far to say that. I'm going to say Ximines first, then Lorenzo Carter, then B.J. Hill. Having B.J. Hill or Lorenzo Carter as our best pass rushers will not do the job whatsoever. They're average pass rush, and Oshane Ximines may be slightly above average. I'm not gonna say he's average. I think he's slightly above average. Even if we have slightly above average talent there, I think it's still an upgrade. Now, do I think we should have still went in the 1st round? Absolutely. At 100, you'll never find a person that wanted edge rush more than me in the 1st round. I didn't want an offensive tackle. I didn't want a quarterback. I didn't want a cornerback. I wanted edge rush as the first pick the Giants make. So, that being said, we're gonna have to settle. We had nothing to do. We can't go back in time. So we have to support this pick. I support Oshane Ximines 110%. He is going to be a fantastic addition to this defense. Do I think he's really gonna make a huge impact? Probably not the extent of Bradley Chubb last year, but he's gonna do something. So I'm going to rate this a grade A, just because by the players that were on the board, they could have went offensive tackle. They could have went Yadni Kajust here, but in my honest opinion, I probably would have taken Oshane Ximines anyway, because you can find offensive tackles in this draft, sleeper guys, this and that. On top of that, most of our offensive line is pretty good for the most part, so we could fill it with somebody there other than Chad Wheeler. But with our pass rush, it's god awful. We don't have a pass rusher. There's no pass rushers. B.J. Hill's our best pass rusher. You can't tell me that's a good pass rush. So, Oshane Ximines, it had to be the pick here. I'll give it a grade A. The only reason why it's not an A+ is because I wanted a guy in the 1st round. So, I'm going to punish the Giants a little bit by giving just a solid A. Moving on, we have round 4, 108th overall. The New York Giants select Julian Love, the cornerback out of Notre Dame. Oh my God, do I love this pick. Do I love this pick. Every day I wake up and I love this pick even more. I've said this. Me and J-Zack did our own mock drafts, and I said this from the get-go. He can obviously vouch for me. I wanted to double dip on cornerback this draft. I wanted to double dip on cornerback and edge rusher. And the fact that we didn't do it on edge rusher, I'm okay with. But cornerback was absolutely key that we needed to double dip here, because Janoris Jenkins will not be a part of the team this year. And by the way things are looking right now, he may even get traded this year. Who knows? But Julian Love is a slot. In my opinion, he played outside last year. He played slot last year. In my opinion, he more so fits the slot role. I think he's going to be a fantastic slot corner. Absolutely fantastic slot corner. I had a second round grade on the guy. He was probably my 7th or 8th corner on the board in the beginning of this draft. So the fact that we got him in the 4th round is fantastic talent there. It's fantastic value. We got him with the same pick that we got Kyle Lauletta. And what's the value there with Kyle Lauletta? Probably not too good. Julian Love, great pick there. And we don't know what's happening with Sam Beal. So Janoris Jenkins might not even be on the team this year, and Sam Beal might. Who knows what we're gonna get from Sam Beal? So the fact that we shored up that secondary with Julian Love, A+. I give this pick an A+. Now a lot of people can argue we should have got an offensive tackle. Are you really going to find an offensive tackle that's going to make a difference on this team, like a Julian Love is going to make a difference on this team? At this point, you have to go best fit player available. When you get an offensive tackle later in the draft, it's very hard. It's very hard that you find better value than you're going to find in Julian Love here. I'll say you may have found probably 1 or 2 tackles, and you don't even know who those tackles will be. That's going to have better value than Julian Love. Who knows? But this guy I had a second round grade on. Can't believe he fell this far. I'm picking him up 10 times out of 10. Now moving on, we have an interesting pick here in round 5, 143rd overall. We have Ryan Connelly, the inside linebacker out of Wisconsin. Now I gave this pick a C- just because, listen, I don't think he's going to be any better than BJ Goodson. I know he's a gritty player. Pat Shurmur made it known that he wanted gritty players. He wanted guys that go out in the field and are just absolute monsters with a tough attitude and good attitude off the field. Tough attitude on the field, good attitude off the field. Ryan Connelly was probably their guy for that. But in my opinion, just watching this guy, I don't think he's going to be in anything more than BJ Goodson. I don't imagine him being anything more than BJ Goodson. I thought Mack Wilson could be better. I don't know why we didn't take Mack Wilson. But Mack Wilson, I don't know what team he went. I think he went to the Browns. So, the Browns just got a lot better. Mack Wilson went to the Browns. Could have been a fantastic 3-4 inside linebacker. He has that rangy speed, rangy sideline to sideline quickness that you want in a 3-4 inside linebacker. And the fact that I just don't see Ryan Connelly really, if he does beat out BJ Goodson, it's not going to be by a huge margin. So that being said, it is what it is. On top of that, there's another guy I wanted as well. I wanted Mack Wilson, and I want Tavon Coney. Tavon Coney went undrafted for whatever reason. Tavon Coney was my 3rd inside linebacker rated on this entire board. I want to know what happened to him, but I don't know. Ryan Connelly is our inside linebacker now, so yeah, I don't know what we're gonna get from that, but we'll see what happens. Our next 5th round pick, we have Darius Slayton, the wide receiver out of Auburn. Now I'm gonna grade this a B-. I thought it was a good pick. I think he could be a good player on special teams, good gunner. Round 5, you're not going to find starting talent. You're going to find guys for the special teams and depth players. I really like Darius Slayton out of Auburn. Now, was he my favorite wide receiver, late round wide receiver? No, I wanted Gary Jennings, but he went to Seattle earlier before this pick. But here's the problem with Darius Jennings is really consistency. I watched this guy on film, and sometimes he makes crazy catches, crazy leaping catches, because Jarrett Stidham cannot throw an accurate ball for his life downfield. They're always underthrown, so Darius Slayton has to constantly stop for the ball. But Darius Slayton has a case of the dropsies, man. This guy drops a lot of balls. I would argue this guy drops a lot. Probably, maybe almost half the balls thrown his way he drops rather than catches it. Besides the incomplete balls, besides the balls that are not on target, balls that he's actually able to catch, I'd say 50-50 he's not catching that ball. So that's the only problem. He has to work on his hands. Same thing with Corey Coleman, that's already on our team. So that's going to be a problem there. But I'm going to give it a B-. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Said it was a good pick as wide receiver depth. He just has to catch the ball better. He's a speedy guy. He runs bad routes. He cannot beat press whatsoever. He doesn't even try to beat press. He just kind of runs slow. It runs right in front of the defender. It kind of uses his hands. It kind of runs like this and tries to get out the way. He does not force contact whatsoever. Tries tries to beat the press. He knows he's weak. He cannot beat the press. So that's going to be complicated for in the NFL level, because you're going to be facing corners who know how to press you and know how to just stick to you the whole time. So I don't imagine him doing too much on as a wide receiver, but he may do something in special teams. Moving on, we have our 6th round pick. We have Corey Ballentine, the cornerback out of Washburn. Now, prayers up for Corey Ballentine, as he was shot just as he was drafted. After he was drafted, the guy was shot, and he was not hurt. I mean, he was not killed. He was not in serious condition. Sources say that he's going to be just fine, but one of his good friends did die in that shooting. So prayers up for Corey Ballentine. No jokes aside, that is a tough situation, and God bless their families, and hopefully they can move past this. But it really sucks that one of his friends was killed. Very unfortunate. After being drafted to the NFL, he has to deal with his friend's death. So that's very sad there. But that being said, he is a New York Giant now. I hope it doesn't affect him too much. I don't want to sound selfish, but I hope it doesn't affect him too much in his play. But I think he's a fantastic sleeper in this draft. I mean, round 6, I think he went round 6 just because he was from a small school and he didn't have much experience. But the guy has potential. And in the 6th round, you could afford to draft the guy in potential rather than actual talent, because there's not too much talent in the 6th round. So the potential is there. I like what I see from Ballentine. Should Janoris Jenkins and Sam Beal not work out, I think he could easily slip into the starting lineup with the right amount of coaching. I think he'll be just fine with the right amount of experience and coaching. So I'm going to give that grade a solid B+. And I gave it a B+ because I felt like we could adjust another position other than cornerback, but I see where Gettleman's mindset is there. So that being said, yeah. Next, we have round 7. Now, this 7th round pick is one of the most interesting, because we finally addressed an offensive tackle, and the guy is saying he could be a guard on the next level. Now, I've been telling everybody, oh, we drafted a guard, because everybody's saying we drafted a guard. The guy played offensive tackle. I did not know this until I watched film. The guy played offensive tackle in Kentucky, and I'll tell you right now, I was impressed. I was actually impressed from this 7th round pick's film. It was not bad. I mean, if you would have just shown me this guy's film, I would have thought 4th round, 5th round, he's not bad. He's a really good run blocker. Now, the pass game, I don't think he's going to be too well against speed rushers, just because he looks a bit athletic, and he's a big guy, and he looks pretty slim for a big guy. He doesn't look fat, and he doesn't look like a Greg Little. Listen, if Greg Little is an offensive tackle in the next level, this guy, George Asofo-Adjei. Okay. I'm just going to say George AA. Okay? AA. The offensive tackle, I'm going to say offensive lineman, because people are saying he more fits a guard, but I think he could play tackle. I do think he could play tackle. We need a run blocker. I would say we need more of a pass blocker, but just to protect Eli and Daniel Jones, unfortunately. But we need somebody there to pass block for the quarterback in the future. But maybe this guy could develop into one. We've seen Chris Nee, David Deal, who was drafted late in the draft, way long ago, and he was, they threw him everywhere. They threw him at tackle, they threw him at guard, they threw him at center. He was everywhere. He was a versatile guy. George AA can probably be the same thing. I really was impressed with his film. I'm not going to lie, guys. The guy was out of Kentucky. The guy practiced against Josh Allen, the pass rusher out of Kentucky. The guy who was drafted 7th overall to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And watching his film, I watched against Mississippi State. He held his own against Jeffrey Simmons when Jeffrey Simmons came against him. He held his own against Montez Sweat. Now, sure, was it fantastic film? Probably not. But if it was, he would be drafted in the 2nd round. But the guy had 4th to 5th round grade. I have a 4th or 5th round grade on him. He was pretty good from what I watched. So I'm not giving up on this George AA pick. I think we addressed offensive line. I think Dave Gettleman saw a sleeper in this draft and he took a shot at it. I'm not going to forgive Dave Gettleman for the Daniel Jones pick, but I could see what he did here in the 7th round. I like the pick. I really do. So I'm going to give the pick a B+. I really like the pick there. Now, this pick is weird. The 7th round pick, 245th overall, Chris Slayton, the defensive tackle out of Syracuse. I don't know too much about him. I watched film, and I mean, I'm like, okay, how is he going to fit into the lineup? Where is he going to get his spot? I mean, you have Olsen Pierre there. You have, I don't know, maybe he's going to be a rotational for BJ Hill, but he's not going to fit that 3 technique. I mean, there's too many guys there. Olsen Pierre, RJ McIntosh, Dexter Lawrence. I'm sure there's going to be some other guys there, maybe some other guys I'm not mentioning right now that's on the team. How's this guy going to fit into the lineup? How is he going to work his way around this rotation? I don't see too much going for Chris Slayton. He might not even make the team. For what I've seen from him, he's an aggressive guy. He's a high motor. He has consistency issues, of course, but I'm not impressed. I like his film. It's decent. It's 7th round, 6th round guy. You know, just like any other guy you would watch on film in the 6th or 7th round. Nothing too special. Nothing too flashy. But I'm just wondering how he's going to fit into the lineup. Why did we get this guy? You know, I felt like we could probably get a late round running back. I want a late round running back just to get some depth on here. We're still running into this season with just Wayne Gallman and Saquon Barkley. I want another guy there. We'll see what we get from the undrafted guys. I'm gonna make a huge video on the undrafted guys. Undrafted is one of my favorite times. You know, I love undrafted. I love the long shots, and yeah, I'm gonna try to interview him as well. It's gonna be in the works, guys. Gonna be in the works. But I'm gonna give this grade a D+. I don't understand it whatsoever. We have too many guys on that 3 technique that are average talent, if not, you know, not star talent. I'll tell you that much. So that being said, that is my recap, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Those are my picks. That's my analytics on it. I'm planning to do a collab with J-Zach in the future. We're going to be watching film on every single one of these guys, and you guys will be along with us. We're going to watch film together and point out, kind of go through our minds, pick through our minds of what we think about these players moving forward as the undrafted analysts. So, all that being said, leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys in the next video.